Welcome to Goalie's PIP Academy.
A school bus can weigh more than 10,000 pounds, yet a crane can lift something that heavy into the air using what looks like one hook and one rope. So why doesn't the rope snap? And why doesn't the crane tip over? The answer is hidden inside spinning pulleys, powerful motors, steel wire rope, and some clever engineering. Hook, rope, load. Let's discover how cranes lift heavy things. Cranes lift steel beams, concrete walls, shipping containers, wind turbine parts, and enormous machines. Objects far too heavy for people to move by hand. But a crane isn't simply a giant arm with a hook. It's a team of carefully designed parts that work together. Let's begin with one of the crane's most important simple machines, the pulley. A pulley is a wheel with a groove around its edge where a rope or cable travels through. One fixed pulley can change the direction of a pull. Pull down on one end of the rope and the other end moves up. But cranes use several pulleys together. Some pulleys are located near the top of the crane's boom, the long arm reaching into the air. Others are inside the large metal block hanging above the hook, called the load block. The steel wire rope travels back and forth between the upper pulleys and the load block. Engineers call this a block and tackle system. Here's why that matters. Imagine the load block is supported by 4 sections of wire rope. Instead of one rope section carrying the entire load, the weight is shared across all 4 sections. In a simplified system, each section would support roughly 1/4 of the load. But the crane doesn't get this extra lifting force for free. The motor must pull much more rope to move the load a short distance. The crane trades speed and distance for greater lifting force, and that trade is called mechanical advantage. It's similar to riding a bicycle uphill in a low gear. You move more slowly, but pedaling becomes much easier. Time for our first quiz. Multiple choice question. What simple machine helps a crane share the load across several sections of wire rope? A. A wedge. B. A pulley. C. A screw. D. A hammer. If you said B, then well done, that's right. Several pulleys working together create mechanical advantage, allowing the crane to lift a heavy load with less force on each supporting section of rope. Now let's follow the lifting force through the crane. When the operator moves a control, a powerful motor begins turning. The motor connects to a gearbox. The gears reduce the motor's speed while increasing its turning force, called torque. That turning force spins a large drum, almost like an enormous spool, and as the drum rotates, it winds up the steel wire rope. This isn't soft rope like you might use for jumping or camping. Crane wire rope is constructed from many steel wires twisted into strands and wrapped around a core. As the drum pulls in the wire rope, it travels across the pulleys. The load block rises and brings the hook and its heavy load upward. Motor, gears, drum, wire rope, pulleys, hook. Every part passes the lifting force to the next one. But wait, the crane's hook usually doesn't attach directly to a steel beam or machine. Workers called riggers use strong slings, chains, shackles, or special lifting devices to connect the load to the hook. Before lifting, they must know how much the object weighs and where its center of gravity is located. If the hook is not positioned correctly above that point, the load may tilt or swing when it leaves the ground. That's why the first lift is often just a few inches, so the team can check balance, rigging, and brakes before continuing. Lifting the load is only half the challenge. The crane must also remain balanced. Many cranes use enormous counterweights on the side opposite the load. Think of a seesaw. Weight on one side helps balance weight on the other. Mobile cranes may also extend outriggers, strong legs that spread the crane's weight across a wider area. Tower cranes depend on a strong foundation, rigid mast, counterweights, and carefully calculated load limits. The load's distance from the crane matters too. Hold a book close to your body, and it feels manageable. Stretch the same book straight out, and it suddenly feels much harder to hold. A crane experiences something similar. The farther the hook moves from the crane's center, the greater the turning force trying to tip it over. That means a crane can usually lift more weight close to its base and less weight when the load is farther away. Operators use a load chart to determine exactly how much the crane can safely lift at each distance and boom position. Time for our second quiz. Multiple choice question. What helps keep a crane from tipping while it lifts a heavy load? A. Brighter paint. B. Counterweights and stable base. C. A faster hook. D. A longer rope. If you said B, then well done. That's right. Counterweights, a stable base, outriggers, and carefully controlled load limits all work together to keep the crane perfectly balanced.
Hey, you're watching Goalie's PIP Academy, where we teach about science, geography, history, everything about the whole world. If you want to watch these classes with no ads, no distractions, go to getgoalie.com.
A motor and gearbox turn the hoist drum. Steel wire rope travels around multiple pulleys. Those pulleys share the load and create mechanical advantage. The hook connects to carefully arranged rigging, while counterweights and a stable base keep the crane balanced. And cranes can lift some truly enormous objects. So next time you see a crane at work, look for the complete lifting team: the hook, the wire rope, the pulleys, and the load. It isn't magic, it's force, balance, mechanical advantage, and brilliant engineering working together. Keep asking questions, keep being curious, and we'll see you next time at PIP Academy.
My mind is blown! Where can I learn more about these videos? Oh yeah, getgoalie.com. There's no ads, there's no junk, just cool stuff for kids and a dedicated tablet. Check it out, getgoalie.com.